Is a singer who's been compared to Etta James and Janis Joplin, and back in the 90s she had it all: a major label, radio airplay, tour dates, and national TV bookings.
But it all came apart because of drugs and alcohol. She actually hit rock bottom. But now those things are all turned around, and in the past, Beth is sober and healthy, and she's selling out shows and recording new music. We're thrilled to welcome Beth to Milwaukee this morning. Tonight she's playing at the Pabst.
Thanks,
You're actually
guys.
really funny. As I was reading the teas, you're like, what a wonderful thing to promote about yourself. I lost it all to drugs and alcohol. You know what? And I know it's really, it's a very personal subject, so I really commend you for being.
Oh, thank you.
You're
well, you
welcome.
know, it's always something to work on. You know, I never feel like I've ever overcome it. I just feel like
It's every
I
day.
have today. Yeah, and just to get through today and try and make the best of it. It's funny too, because I just quit smoking a couple of months ago, and I'm pulling my hair out, and I'm thinking, this is so much harder, you know?
Just don't start eating. That's my recommendation.
Oh, and I have. I quit sugar and everything, and then now this past week, it's just like everything's sweet. It's awful, but I guess that's just life. You got to always work at something.
Well, it's taken you more than a decade to get to this point. Was it more difficult because of the industry you're in?
You know, it actually didn't take a decade. It took about a year. And at the end of that year, I just happened to get really lucky. I started working in Europe. And it's been about 11 years of straight touring there, 6-7 months out of the year each year. So thank God for that. And it's been like going to another planet and learning how to do your career and feel safe, because I don't have family and friends watching. I get to experience it over there and then come home and get out of it. And honestly, I felt really undeserving of playing the United States for many years, because things were so bad and so rough, and I'd felt like obviously I'd let myself down, but I'd, you know, scared my family and friends that knew me growing up, and to see me like that up on television, and I felt like undeserving of doing the United States again, until a few years ago. I guess after so much therapy, I'd finally come around to the place of being able to have forgiveness and understanding, and not looking at it as I didn't care, but more so looking at it as a disease, like cancer, like bipolar disorder, like anything like that. You would never get angry at someone for having that. So you can't get angry at someone for having alcoholism or drug addiction either. It is a disease, no matter what anybody says. That is the fact. And I was told that early on in getting into recovery, but I didn't actually believe it until a certain amount of years went by, and I could come to that place of, yeah, forgive and let go of this and move forward, and just, you know, make the most out of your life that you can. But it's so important to not judge and rip yourself apart. It's not going to do any good. It's not going to change the past.
Part of what is remarkable is not just that journey, but really your talent, I think, has seen you through to this point, don't you think? I mean, and you've come so far to the Kennedy Center Honors. Can you talk about that experience a little bit?
Oh my God.
It's a big one.
It was so great, and it just happened to happen at the time where I'd done my latest original record. And so we had no idea. It came out of the blue. Jeff Beck had asked me to join him in that. And knowing that my mom would see that was so huge. Of course, getting to play for the president and his wife, and going to the White House and going to state dinner. And
you got a standing ovation, furthermore,
they
right?
were really, they were really, really nice. But you know, in my head, how it works is, I did kind of notice them standing up at the end, but I thought, that must not be for us. It must be for someone else getting ready to walk out, like Bonnie Raitt's coming out. That's just how my head works. But I think that's good, because it keeps your feet on the ground and focusing on just do your job. Focus on doing your job. But I'll tell you, the biggest highlight of the whole thing was I was such a Yo-Yo Ma fan as a kid. Obviously a buddy, because that's who I was representing. But after the show, I was getting ready to go.
Buddy Guy?
Huh?
You mean a buddy?
Oh yeah, Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy,
yes,
yeah.
yes. And Yo-Yo Ma was there, and I would go and I was a cellist as a kid, so I would always go and see Yo-Yo Ma play, anything classical, anything he would do. And after the show, I went back to the hotel to get dressed and change. And I was getting ready to go into the elevator, and Yo-Yo Ma was there, and he put his arms out.
Aww.
He didn't even say anything. He just grabbed me and hugged me, and he was like, oh. And I was just in heaven.
Has to feel
be
good.
A thrill, yeah.
It was a wonderful time.
Now, you wrote or co-wrote almost all the songs on your latest album?
Yeah, I wrote and co-wrote, yes.
What is that process like for you? And do those songs mean more to you because there's something that came from you?
Well, especially when I write things completely alone, it's total free reign to dig as deep inside as you'd like, and to make changes where you'd like. It's totally cathartic. Whereas when I co-write, I get to get inside of the other person I'm writing with too. So it's like spiritual experience with someone else, but differently than when you're writing on your own. But I do notice too, when I'm co-writing, I learn a lot. You know, you get to learn different ways of going about writing a song with another person. But certainly when you're writing alone, there is a different type of freedom to it.
I want to congratulate you on not only just your success, but you're getting Billboard success. Your songs are charting, right? On the yeah, that's wonderful. Tell me about that. I know it's hard to talk about
She's
yourself.
so humble. I know.
No,
so
I'm
refreshing.
No,
we never meet people like you.
I'm fantastic.
Check me out on my Facebook page.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that happening back home. I mean, I have to say this to you though, that the most exciting part about all of this is the feeling of worthiness being back in my life for being in the United States. That's the biggest surprise.
Did you feel like you blew it? Is that like you ruined everything?
I did blow it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even though, you know, we talk about, you know, disease and all those things, but I did. You know, I had a great opportunity in my life that I'd worked for since I was 4 years old.
And you were a classically trained musician.
Yeah.
Serious musician.
Yeah, and doing performances at the age of 4. And so finally at a point in my life to get signed to a major deal and get to do my own music, it was huge. And then to see me blow it away, it's like a little kid who builds this big Lego set and then just kicks it down, you know, and it took me a long time to, I think, get up the courage to go for it again, especially clean, you know. Yeah, it was definitely different.
Without the support of the drug to give you the, did it give you courage or confidence? I mean, false. But
I didn't. I would never perform, you know, drunk or anything like that. Really, what it was is that I was like a periodic. So I was someone who could go for a couple of months on nothing, and then I would check out and go for a week and get crazy.
Did you disappear from people?
Yeah, I had a double life. So I had the friends that had never touched anything and didn't know that I did. And then I had a whole different group of people that I'd go with.
And what were the drugs, Beth?
Everything and anything I could get my hands on. There was really no preference. It was anything that would change my brain chemistry, which I learned later on is for me was bipolar disorder. So I was self-medicating. But when I'd first gotten sober, I didn't take any of bipolar medication. They kept telling me, you need to do this, you're very mentally ill. And I said, no, I'm just someone who's a recovering addict. If I stay sober, I'll be fine. And I remembered kind of laughing at a few doctors and telling them, see, I told you I'd be fine, because I had many years of sobriety with no going into the psych wards or anything. And then I had another mental relapse about 5 years ago that was the worst one I'd ever had. And I went into the hospital for a month and a half. And this is being totally sober. It's just, it's bipolar disorder.
Illness.
Yes. So when I started on my meds for that about 5 years ago, when I got out, everything got so much easier in life. Not only to stay away from drugs, but also to be able to have successes and not run from them. There's this old story, there's an old saying of if you're having a really bad day, go to a meeting. If you're having a really good day, run to a meeting. It's that kind of thinking.
So don't take it for granted that you're sober and you're secure. Just always watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have such a great story to tell. You say you blew it, but you didn't, because look at you now. What, you're like 23 and you've got your whole life ahead to be successful, right?
I'm 41. But I'm married to an amazing man who I do not know how he can do it. But somehow he's able to, you know, hang in there with me and love me.
We want to hear you sing, so we're going to send you over to the set. Thank you for being so open and honest with us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we're going to let you get over to the performance area. Tonight you're going to be at the Pabst Theater tonight. You can go right now, Beth, if you want. Yeah, just mosey on over there. Yeah, thanks. And you're going to perform with this amazing band called The Rides. It's an all-star blues rock group that includes Stephen Stills, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and Barry Goldberg. Tickets are still available at the Pabst tonight, so also make sure to check out Beth's website at bethhart.com.
And we have 5 copies of Beth's album, Bang Bang Boom Boom, to give away. So
I kind of love that title.
At 414-799-4444, callers 5 through 9 will win. And later in the show, we'll be giving away 2 tickets to the show tonight, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, here is Beth Hart with the single Better Man.
He got me feeling so fine. He
the sun had to shine. It's time my water so wide. He'd do it every time. Ain't nothing better than that. I let him play with my cat. Got nothing on but his hat. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And all that I want him to know, that I want him to know, is that I love him so. Better than I ever had, more than I can stand. I found me a better man who loved me better than, better than you ever can. I don't want no animal acting so out of control. I found me a better man. He greased my pan better than you can. He's no complicated man. He's happy holding my hand. He likes to swim in my tub. I like his rubber dub. He's never stolen my car or tried to pawn my guitar. He doesn't flirt with my friends. My money he don't spend. And all that I want him to know, that I want him to know, is that I love him so. Better than I ever had, more than I can. I stand. I found me a better man who loved me better than, better than you ever can. I don't want no animal acting so out of control. I found me a better man. He greased my pan better than you can. Love and happiness I have a saying. Love has surely been so good to me. I finally found myself a better sky. Found me a better man who loved me better than you ever can. I don't want no acting so out of control. I found me a better man. I found me a better man who loved me better than, better than you ever can. I don't want no animal acting so out of control. I found me a better man. I found me a better man who loved me better than you ever can. He greased my pan better than you.